So a couple months ago when I was at the Santa Clara Micro Center opening, I was approached by a customer there who brought some really neat stuff for me to look at and wanted to know if I wanted to do a video about it. And I thought that this was so damn cool and so nostalgic and brought back my childhood in such an amazing way. I figured, knowing my audience and the age group you guys are, it'll probably bring back your childhood too. For those looking for a high-end custom gaming experience, look no further than Falcon Northwest. Falcon Northwest has been building PCs made for gamers for over 30 years with a focus on a true high-end gaming experience. Custom cases available only through Falcon Northwest feature state-of-the-art testing and design to ensure that every component is performing at their best through thermal imaging and rigorous lab testing designed and overseen by the Falcon Northwest founder himself. With a complete lineup of systems ranging from small to large, every Falcon Northwest system includes a 3-year warranty policy and a year of 2-way overnight shipping coverage, providing the ultimate peace of mind. To see all that Falcon Northwest has to offer, follow the sponsored link in the description below. Yes, I have my notes right here because of the fact that I will never memorize all of this information. This is a very, very small garage operation type deal, so let me preface this very strongly. I have no information about the background or the scalability or the turntables have turned time of how long it would take to get one if you order it, but I know it is available. It's from a company called Dr. Mod's Lab, and basically they are doing retro gaming on the Raspberry Pi 5. So they call it their Pironman 5 build. Get it? Pironman? Pi, whatever. Anyway, what's cool about this is he brought it and set it up for me on a monitor right at Micro Center, and it has basically every single retro game from like Atari, like the Atari 2600, or I think that was the number, all the way up to like the Wii on there. So there were thousands and thousands of titles, and that's where the really cool stuff of like the Raspberry Pi really shines, is stuff like this, because let's think about how much power the Raspberry Pi has today versus any of the computational power of any of those consoles I just mentioned, maybe with the exception of the Wii, right? The Atari, the NES, the SNES, obviously the original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, N64, it's all in there. But this was a care package that was sent to me. It does have extras in there that are above and beyond like what you would get as a normal customer, but they kind of wanted to show me their entire catalog. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know what the scalability of this is like. So this is definitely gonna be one of those, like, contact them, get in contact. I'll put the email in their Discord down below. It is a very small, like 3 or 4 man operation, but it's pretty neat. So before I do the unboxings here, I just wanted to kind of talk about the operating system it's running on. For instance, I like how they said they set it up as a pro gaming computer for the computer guy itself. Because what's neat, and you'll see here, is the different cases you can get. So you can get one that looks like a NES, an SNES, looks like a Genesis, and GameCube, all of that sort of stuff. And I said, well, it'd be neat if you could do one that looks like a computer. And they're like, actually, we can. So these are not 3D printed shells, by the way, that they're putting the Raspberry Pi guts in. These are true, like, vacuum formed injected molding, like plastic molding. It is above and beyond in terms of the manufacturing. So anyone could just 3D print a thing, but this is actually real injection molded plastic, which I think is really cool. I've yet to see it. All I know is in the email they said, please capture the startup process on camera, because I think there's something custom they did, and I'm really curious as to what they did to make it bespoke to me. But I'm just really curious here. So what's included in my package, obviously, is the Pironman 5 build, the NES Pi 5, 4 times PS4 controllers, 4 time Wiimotes with light gun games, 2 USB Wii sensor bars, and HDMI cable. What it says here, product notes for pricing, the Pironman 5 is as configured is $290, and that's for the parts. The standard NES Pi 5 build, which, let's see, however, we're currently reevaluating that price point. We're looking to offer an alternative using a different PC case, their Cookie build, paired with a 1 terabyte SD card preloaded in the same way. So it comes preloaded with all the games. And let's see, and this version would be offered at $200 for parts only. So that's pretty cool. It says what's included with the customer's Pi 5 system from Dr. Mod's Labs. The Pi 5 in a case of choice, so available cases is NES, Dreamcast, Cookie PC, N64, PS1, PS1 with screen, and a generic Pi 5 case, 1 PS4 controller, 1 Pi 5 power supply, and 1 HDMI to mini HDMI display, which is not included with the PS1 case as it's not needed. I guess it's probably full HDMI in there maybe. and one HDMI cable. The optional accessories are the wireless N64 controller with rumble pack, 2x Wiimotes with light guns sold in packs of 2, and 1x USB sensor bar. The operating system that's running on is Batacera, but what they're doing here with the hardware is they're turning it into like a little retro gaming station. Now we've seen like the NES Classic and the Genesis Classic and all that stuff, but the problem is usually those come with a very limited set of games. The distro and the SD card that's included with this has like every game. So that's also why, given the whole Nintendo news we talked about lately, you might want to move quickly if you're interested in doing stuff like this, because those, at least the NES games themselves, may not be around forever. Anyway, time to do the unboxing stuff. This is just the box for those two controllers right there. I've got them charging right now. So those are the two PS5 style controllers that came. As you can see, they're very Amazon. They're not like official PlayStation or Sony products. This looks like a bribe. Oh, okay, so these are two more of the P4 gaming controllers. These are just two more gaming controllers. Remember it said they did include 4 controllers? I guess you could scan that right now if you want. This is what's on their business card. Oh, so this is one of the 3D printed light guns. This is for obviously attaching like the Wiimotes to. So this is 3D printed here. It's actually a pretty good print, holy cow. It's a little rough here though. I might sand that down. It's a little rough in the hand. This is obviously the above and beyond of like what average consumers get, obviously. Okay, just wanted to make sure there was nothing else in there. This is the Pironman right there. So that's the unit. No idea what this guy is. Maybe power supply. Nespi 4 case, okay. So that's what I mean, like this is actual plastic. Like this is not like 3D printed in any way. Holy crap, this is actually, does that come out? No, it doesn't. This is an actual working unit right here. Look, there's our Ethernet port in the back, USB-C for power. Okay, that's kind of neat right there. So wasn't expecting that. So I don't think that's the unit we're technically reviewing today. Maybe that's for display purposes. If this seems like Jay doesn't know what the hell's going on, you're kind of right. I kind of was like, just send me what you got and we'll take a look at it. And there was a lot of like, hey, we threw some surprises in there we hope you like. So what on earth? Oh.
Just a sign.
It is just a sign. Hold
Nice.
on. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to butter me up here.
I was gonna say that's a bribe for sure.
All right. The last thing here. This is obviously the unit for us, which, as you can see, just looks like a tiny little gaming PC. This one, as you can see, because it's mimicking a PC, has active fans on there, and more than one of them, and apparently they're RGB. All right, so we're gonna capture the first boot on camera. I'm assuming they probably put my logo or something on the splash screen. And then we do have the Elgato capture card working, so we'll get some real capture of the gaming. But we don't want any lag when we first do the boot up on this, so we're just gonna do this live. Okay, plug this sucker in. Automatically turns on. I love that it's RGB. We're assuming there might even be a little screen right there, a little sensor panel. Checking the device connected to HDMI. That. Pironman 5 supercomputer. I just love that it's RGB, I really do. Well, that doesn't have my logo or anything on it. Okay, so we just plugged in directly. We're gonna go ahead and resync this, and I guess I'll walk you through this process right here. Dude, the resolution on this is pretty awesome. I'm gonna say that first of all. They did say that's one thing that was updated with these games is like, to work with this resolution. Remember when we were going through the Commodore 64 trying to get that to work with a modern monitor? So anyway, okay, so we can resync our controller by doing menu, controller Bluetooth settings, controller enable Bluetooth, it's all on. you can sync 8 controllers to this. Okay, pair Bluetooth device automatically. Now it's flashing twice. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so now that we have it properly capturing, we figured out the binds. There's some learning curve to this. Like, to operate the operating system, like you have to push Windows, or not Windows, but PlayStation and X, and that would bring up like various menus and stuff. I guess I just went into that game. So once you're in a game, you can do Windows X. I keep calling it Windows, sorry. PlayStation, you can tell I'm not a console guy. It is PlayStation X, and then it brings up the main menu here, right? So we can even restart the device or whatever. There's so many consoles in here I've never even heard of. So there's Videotrox, PC Engine, CD-ROM 2, Game & Watch, Nintendo Entertainment System, Game Boy, Super Nintendo, Virtual Boy, N64, Game Boy Color, Nintendo GameCube, Game Boy Advance. You can see why I say there's a big chunk of this that might disappear someday. Anyway, there's ports, which are just game ports. There's only 5 of them. Atomus Wave. I was like, okay, what is that? I never even heard of that. It looks like a cabinet type game. SG-1000, oh, Sega Genesis 1000. The Sega Master System, Sega Mega Drive, Game Gear, Mega CD, Sega Saturn. Oh my God, that never picked up, but I do remember Sega Saturn from when I was a kid.
They're so expensive.
How many games are on that for it? 87 games there. Mega Drive 32X, there's 33 games for that. Mode, was that L3 or Model 3? Dreamcast, Neo Geo Pocket, geez, PlayStation, PSP, and then there's all games, arcade, light gun games. That kind of puts like all the games that can use the light gun into one space, I'm assuming. FB Neo, Atari 2600, Atari 5200, Atari 7800, Lynx. Oh my gosh, I remember the Atari Lynx. That was like a handheld that was so awesome for its time. Jaguar CD, Wonder Swan Color, ColecoVision, Odyssey 2. Intellivision was my first console. That goes back to the freaking 80s, guys. And then Vectrix, here we are again. So I'm gonna do Intellivision first, because this is literally gonna bring me back about 40 years, okay? So we're gonna enter that. Dude, the games, I'm gonna warn you right now, some of these sounds. NHL hockey, there it is. Oh my God, I played the crap out of this as a kid. Let's see. Give me the. Oh my God, goalie hacks. Yeah, oh shit. 1979 gaming right there. PGA Golf. Oh, I remember PGA Golf. Nailed it. What? What? I did it! 7 strokes. Original NES here, shall we? Oh, and you can also bring up a quick menu like this, but. These people are relying on you, son. Don't let them down. It said. Got him. Got him. Whoa. There's a light pole there. F-14s are flying. Come on. Yes! Knife through the eye. Nice. Okay, Jason should be in here. Oh, Jesus, that scared me. That actually scared me. Ow. He dead. You're gonna try and take on Jason with some rocks. I've taken 1 health bar from.
Jeez, literally 1 pixel.
And dead. If you're not equipped, like with knives and axes and stuff, you can't hurt him.
Nice.
Konami. Don't mind me, I'm just a bug. Oh.
What was that noise?
I don't know what the buttons are.
You don't have any weapons. You can't.
But you can't even hand to hand?
Yeah. Oh, circle? Oh.
I was looking at the timer. Just keep kicking them. I can't steal their guns.
Nope.
Ow!
Oh.
Snake! Snake!
Snake! What happened? Snake! Snake!
Well, on that note,
Death percent.
Round 1. Fight!
Wait, which one's yellow scorpion?
I'm yellow. Oh my god. Fair. Okay, so we have to at least play one title on here that really brings us all back to our childhood. And I can't tell you how many quarters I spent at the local 7-Eleven after school playing Street Fighter 2.
Oh no.
Nut punch!
Oh my god.
Punched to death.
Wouldn't you want to die? Oh, there it is. I said I want a sandwich! Sorry, it brings back 90s toxicity. I'm a victim of my upbringing, okay? Look, everyone knows I make the sandwiches, okay? You forget he's a ranged melee attacker. All right, time to end this and talk about our final thoughts here, I guess. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the coolest things. And this isn't like unique. I mean, these exist and a lot of companies make them, but I don't think any of the ones I've ever played with or looked at or seen in person have nearly as many systems and games on it as this does. I'm very thankful for Dr. Mods Labs to send this to me to take a look at. I love that it just looks like a tiny little tower, like a little PC tower. The CPU fan never even turned on. I'm assuming it's plugged in. It probably just never got warm enough for it to need to, I'm assuming. Because these two fans in the back are exhaust, and they clearly were exhausting the hot air with no problem whatsoever.
Maybe if we were playing PlayStation 2, probably, or something more demanding, because we never got past like PS1.
There's just too much. Imagine this video. We're gonna look at every game. There's like 10,000 games or something on here, especially when you get up to the more like modern consoles, like when we got to PlayStation, or even when we went to the arcade cabinets, there was just so many, there's hundreds and hundreds of games per console at that point. It's crazy that they have an actual 2 terabyte NVMe SSD in here. I don't think that's truly needed, but not only do the games have like their vanilla versions, but games that had expansion packs, they were included as well. So that's kind of crazy. Like I said, I'll put a link down below to the company so you can reach out to them or go to the Discord and ask questions. Like I said, it's a very, very indie company. So I make no guarantee or warranties whatsoever regarding like the order process and the warranties and all that sort of stuff. So please do your diligence, talk to them, make sure you're comfortable with it. I think the pricing's pretty aggressive. In terms of like what's available, I mean, the hardware and stuff is it can add up quick. I mean, we have 4 controllers of each type. We didn't even do any of the light gun stuff because we had to set up the bar and whatnot. But I think it's awesome that they're trying to offer this cool, nostalgic, like one-touch solution here for retro gaming. I mean, it's pretty cool. Obviously, the Raspberry Pi has more than enough power. The downside though is the controllers. We don't know if because the antenna for the controllers is clearly inside the case, and because the case was like that and we were on this side of it, we don't know if maybe the metal enclosure was causing some interference with the controller. We had one controller kind of drop out a couple times. The lag on the Bluetooth side was not good. So I would almost recommend, because the controller cables that you get, they're just for charging. They're really short. I would recommend if you want the most lag-free gaming type or gaming experience, I would just recommend getting Amazon cables that are long and then just having them plugged in. Like honestly, that is going to be the most lag-free scenario. I noticed it when they were plugged in, it felt less laggy before we even paired them. And then once we paired them, it was obviously a little more laggy. So keep that in mind. I don't know if it has something to do with maybe these are more like cheap Amazon-ish type controllers versus maybe them being like real PlayStation controllers, because you could pair any Bluetooth controllers to this, whether I'm assuming Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers, third parties, obviously, but this is what was sent to us. So we might play around with it a little bit to see how well other controllers work with this, like maybe actual licensed and branded, controllers from like PlayStation and Xbox and whatnot. But this is cool. I love the fact that it has just about every game. Even off camera, we were like, hey, let's see if it has this game, see if it has that game. And yes, it did. It had those games. any game you're gonna name from an old console, yes, it has it. That's the craziest part about it. Anyway, with that said, we're going to get on out of here. I put the information down below. Do with it as you will. I'm not endorsing this company. I'm not affiliated with this company. I don't know them personally. They showed it to me, asked if I thought maybe I'd want to check it out. I said, yes, I'm all about retro gaming. And this is what we were sent. So obviously communicate, be very clear about what it is you're getting, what it is you want. And obviously it looks like they could tailor together custom packages like this for you. Obviously there's the PC style case right here, which they called the Pironman 5. And then obviously there's the SNES, or they call it PiNES, which is over there actually in front of Phil. You can get them in different enclosures, like I said, N64 and all that. So if you just have like a very specific style that you kind of want, talk to them. They probably have it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get on out of here. Hopefully this brings back some childhood memories for you. It's definitely going to for us. We're gonna set this up and find a permanent place to have this so we can sort of chill and relax and it's ready to go. Now I feel like we need like the traditional couch setup and like a console TV or something just to, like, we need to build our own console TV. Like I need to go on Craigslist or something and find an old wooden console TV, but take out the guts and put like an LCD panel in there so it can just even feel like Saturday morning with a bowl of cereal. All right, guys, thanks for watching as always. We'll see you in the next one.